And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this is actually the after show. It's the casual live stream. Now, you may be thinking, Stetson, why is this a casual live stream? Actually, I don't know myself. Dennis, what are we doing here?
Well, basically, we ended up getting a surprise guest, which we'll reveal at the end of the show for the podcast. And we actually did a pre-recording earlier today with said guest. And so Stetson and I came to the conclusion that we'll just do the after show for now. And towards the end of the show, if you guys are all still sticking around, we'll surprise you with the guest and a little synopsis of what we talked about. And I will just say this was definitely a top 10% show.
I loved it. I thought it went really well, and we'll see how this transitions. I'm going to try and make it so that the video is played after, and we're just going to see how it goes, is what's going to happen here. We got Sneed Mobile Tech in the house. How you doing, Sneed? We've got actually some great news stories. So maybe, I think what we'll do, this is a pretty chill stream. I want to welcome Hector. Congrats on getting 3G. That's amazing. I think I got 3G myself, and this is a little icon badge. Time and illusion. Yeah, you're right. We're probably the most on time that we've ever been right now. So Porky, I appreciate your time consciousness. I guess we're late from the time I said it, so I should have said it at 7, but we're here now. We're live. That's what's up. Austin, how's it going, my friend? Great to hear from you. We're actually talking about a story.
We are ready for the announcement, by the way, if you want to put it in there.
Should we do Debo Bop's surprise announcement?
Yeah, let's just hear it real quick.
We're ready. Hit us when you're ready, and we'll answer it as soon as we see the chat.
And while we're waiting on that, I just want to say, what's up, Sneed man? It's always good to see you. I think when this show is done, I'm gonna have to reach out to you because I got some questions, and you're the man that would be like to know the answers, because me and Stetson were talking behind the scenes.
The legend, he's everything.
What's up, Joseph? Good to have you. Oh, Debo Bop's graduating from high school tomorrow. Congrats, man.
High fives. That is awesome. That is such a good feeling.
Virtual high five. No, virtual fist bump, man. Virtual fist bump, man. We're social distancing and playing it safe.
Good call. Should we do like a nice little elbow bump?
Yeah, just use the weenus. But okay. I want to get into the topic that I told you about originally with Atlas, or Altice as you like to call it.
This is what's going on.
Yeah.
I put 85% in the title. It's actually 86%. So this is huge.
So this was reported by Ars Technica. Basically, there's a cable operator. Stetson calls them Altice. I pronounce it.
It says Altice. What do you guys think?
Well, they can't really tell us through chat, right? They're just going to type it out.
They're just going to say, oh, it's pronounced Altice. Atlas. No, I mean, type it out as Atlas or Altice, whatever you think. Dennis is going Atlas, and he might be right as the official pronunciation. I think, Dennis, you confirmed that with commercials.
But maybe I'm mistaken. But anywho, they're doing a really, really shady thing, really poopy thing. They're basically intentionally decreasing their upload speed for no reason at all. Like in the statement later on in the press release, they say their network is performing fine. They're just artificially lowering their upload speeds to better meet competition among other cable providers.
We've got Altice.
Okay. Altice.
So audience, I'm with you, audience. We're either all saying it wrong.
No, Dennis is just wrong.
Dennis is just wrong. So what's going on here? Yeah. Dennis, I mean, you pretty much covered it. We're seeing they're slashing cable internet upload speeds by up to 86%, starting in like 2 weeks, July 12th. Okay? So what's going on here? Here is the specific troubling phrasing. And here it is, right here, Dennis. I'll zoom in, because I know this is in 720p, so it's a little bit challenging to read. But what does this say?
Our network continues to perform very well despite the significant data usage increases during the pandemic and the speed tiers that we offer.
So that basically means they're doing fine. If you're an Altice customer, you're getting exactly what you're paying for. There's no problems with the network. Everything is running smoothly. It's exactly what you would want. So they have already proven, and this statement continues to prove, they are able to provide the service they are offering with no problems, okay? So what are they doing?
They are bringing their speeds in line with other ISPs.
Yeah, okay. So, oh no. They're dropping speeds.
Yeah.
They're dropping speeds. So currently, let's just scroll down to the packages. This is the best illustration of what's going on. We can get even closer. Wow.
Let's not. But so previously, they basically had 35 megabits across the board, with the exception being their gig and optimum 400 tier being 40 and 50 megabits respectively. And I'll go on record saying, like, 35 megabits, like, I know it's not like fiber level greatness, but totally respectable, right? So that's, I know you wouldn't want to, but you could live with that, right?
I could definitely live with it. I mean, the truth of the matter is most people aren't uploading. They're only doing it when they're doing a FaceTime call or a Zoom call. So they'd be fine with 35 to 40 megabits per second.
Right. So they have this perfectly great thing. They were actually differentiating themselves by actually offering a usable amount of upload. But now they're going to be artificially lowering that speed. And they're even doing the peak, even on their gig tier, they're making it lower than it ever was. And it's going to be 5, 10, 20, 20, 20, and then 35. So if you want to get 35 megabits per second, you have to bump your way all the way up to gig. And it's pretty obvious why they're doing this, right? It's an upselling tactic. Force people on to higher speed tier plans that they don't need to get a little bit of extra money.
I mean, and it's not even for the download. Like, in my opinion, once you get 200 megabits per second for an average consumer, they're totally fine. But 10 megabits per second upload, that is so slow.
I mean, dude, it wasn't that long ago I was dealing with 400 by 10, right? From
That
Comcast.
is insane.
And, 10 was the bare minimum that I could tolerate. It was barely tolerable.
Yeah, it's slow. So this is really disheartening to see. I mean, across the board, basically the plans are dropping 35 megabits per second to 5 megabits per second. That's the biggest drop. I mean, these poor customers are in trouble. Their internet speeds, their upload speeds are being dropped by 86%. This is the 86% drop from something usable, some might argue acceptable. I would say it's like bare minimum, to something that I think is below bare minimum. Like, this is disgusting. 5 megabits per second.
Yeah, it's really gross. It's real gross. But yeah,
I will say their fiber network is continuing to offer the same speeds as before, so that looks like it's unchanged. But the regular cable network is just getting obliterated.
Oh, I was reading Sneed's comment. I was trying to figure out FWA. He says he knows that I don't like fixed wireless access, but that's better than this. I actually not sure. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to talk about the options that are available. That's actually going to be the next thing we talk
pricing?
about. Yeah, let's look at pricing, because I don't actually know what optimum charges. But while you're doing that, I just wanted to ask a quick question, and this is open-ended to the audience too. Do you think, and don't call me Socialist Dennis for this, but do you think the government should come in and actually investigate this? Like, I feel like this is like a bait and switch. Because Optum was selling a product, right? I'm sure they have contracts just like every cable operator does, right? I feel like this is a bait and switch. Don't you?
Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's like, sign up for this. We're actually changing your plan, and if you want it, then you got to get it. I'm not seeing the plans on their site, which is unfortunate.
And it's not like you have choices. I mean, like we said, this is home ISPs, right? It's not like you have a choice. Like, they're probably your only real high speed internet option, right?
Yeah. So,
like, I don't know. This made me so mad. And the best part is they talk about their fiber right next to it, which they offer symmetrical speeds on.
Yeah.
But their footprint for fiber is like very small.
Interesting. Sneed is suggesting that in order for Altice to do something, they need a competitor, and they need a new company to come in and basically offer something better for less. And that's where, instead of the FCC investigating, maybe they just incentivize a competitor to come in.
See, I wonder though, because like I live in a market that does have healthy competition, right? I got Fios and I got Comcast, right? But Comcast only offers 10 megabit upload on their blast internet, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I don't know. I think it's tricky to say what's going on here. It's challenging. I'm disappointed. Their fiber network is still decent. I would encourage anyone who can to switch off of them, though.
Unless you can get fiber. Fiber anything, regardless of company, if it's what the devil is worth.
Yeah.
Fiber is great.
We have a question mark. Looks like the Doge dog, asking how much is AT&T's taxes and fees on average.
Varies way too much across states.
I think they literally say like anywhere from 10% to like 40% or something ridiculous.
I'll put it this way. In Pennsylvania with our bill, I think we pay like close to $170, $180. About $45 of that is tax and fees. So take it for what it's worth. But
I'm getting my bill soon, but it's like totally messed up because of all this. What they do in your first month is you sign up. Their billing cycle renews on the same day every month, I think for all customers. I want to say it's like the 29th or something. And so you sign up, you get prorated service for X number of days, and then you start your new billing cycle. What they do is they prorate the service, they bill you for that, and they bill you for your next month. And so my first bill is like kind of all over the place. It was like $200 or something like that, like $245.
But Stetson, hopping off of this, for the people that do have the unfortunate situation of having Optimum, why don't we talk about some of the fixed wireless solutions that are out there? Kind of what Sneed was alluding to. I know you have that all prepared.
Yeah, we've got some stuff. That's a great segue, Dennis. Let's talk about, I think, the big one that's been in the news, T-Mobile home internet. Okay, this has been a really good product. I don't know, that maybe that's an ambitious way to start. This has been an exciting product for many people because of what it offers, right? You're getting unlimited internet for $50 a month. Did it drop down back to 50? Because I know they launched at 50, then they upped it to 60, and it might be back down.
It's back down for a limited time at $50, and I just want to just full disclosure here. I don't think it's worth anything more than $50 in my opinion.
You're probably right. Yeah. Let's add this to the stream so people can take a look. But this is probably one of the newest and most exciting options. We'll have to see kind of how it pans out. So T-Mobile home internet, $50 a month. I know there were some issues with streaming. Like my friend Austin got it, and
Sneed had the issues.
Sneed,
right?
yeah. So I think Sneed was more like just everything was slow. Like video was capped, right? I think 480p or something like that, and that totally stinks. But I think Austin was saying like if you have an Apple TV and you're trying to stream video from the T-Mobile home internet to the Apple TV device, there was some issue with that specific configuration that caused problems. But the service does support 4K video streaming, and it's pretty simple. You're not paying any equipment charges. You get a Nokia gateway router for free as long as you have the service. $50 a month. That includes all taxes and fees. Ship it to your house. I mean, what do you think of the, not the network, but the experience? Like what they're offering?
I think the experience is pretty simple, right? I mean, one of the benefits of a wireless solution is you don't need to run a cable, right? You don't have to have a tech come out to install it. It's literally like deliver it to your house, boom, it's on your porch, plug it into some power, you're kind of good to go, right? Like a 2-year-old could set it up, you know what I mean? So that's one of the cool things about it. And I mean, I'm sure it'll get smoother as it goes on. I mean, I don't like that T-Mobile makes it difficult to find out availability. Like, by that I mean like this. Like, I can punch in a street address and like literally like two doors down, a neighbor can have it, but the 2 doors over, I can't. And we're literally in the same like zip code. Like, I don't know. It gets a little weird when they're figuring out availability, but I'm sure that will work out as they deploy their network and stuff. But yeah, I think it's an overall pretty solid experience.
Yeah, I think from the sign up and activation standpoint, T-Mobile's got great experience. Reps are typically pretty helpful. I will say we've learned that the hardware and the software on the gateway are terrible. Okay, we have Max Tech Studio saying the Nokia equipment is awful. I know Austin was saying that he had the gateway, and anytime it restarted, all of the settings would just be completely reset. Not ideal for a consumer grade product where you want it to just work. We even have Jim saying canceled T-Mobile home internet, went back to Xfinity. So I think it's not for everyone. It's a really good option if you live in an area with poor fiber and ISP options. I think if you do a lot of gaming, this isn't going to be for you because you're probably going to have latency trying to game over the cellular network. And it depends if you're in one of those 5G coverage areas. Like if you get
security in smart home is also going to be an issue.
Yeah.
If you got like a security system, you're going to have problems with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. If you live in an what do they call it? Ultra capacity 5G area with band N41, I think it'll work a lot better. You're going to be getting fast speeds. In my personal apartment, I think this would work great. I'll probably get fast speeds. I think if you live in just like a normal T-Mobile coverage area, it's probably going to be mediocre. And you're going to have to just like try it, evaluate it, and maybe return it if it's not for you.
If you got N41, you'll be good. You'll probably be pulling somewhere in the ballpark of like 50 megabits plus, I would say, is like a fair number. And you're going to be fine streaming, doing your online schooling, doing your FaceTimes or what have you. But gaming is definitely not going to be the move. That's for certain. And then it can get a little funky with some Internet of Things devices and stuff like that. And that has to do back with when we had that talk with Austin about, different how they do their IP addresses and stuff like that.
Great points, Dennis. So that's T-Mobile. Again, $50, unlimited data, HD streaming, $10 off YouTube TV when you sign up. I think it's decent. It's their first foray into this product. I think it's decent. We'll have to wait and see how it evolves. Maybe we'll get a new gateway. Maybe I don't think there actually will be any other plans. I think this one can be just a simple product.
I wish they would guarantee a speed. That's what I would like to see.
That's hard. I mean, because then they can just limit the zip codes and make sure you get those speeds in those zip codes.
I mean, I feel like that's better than the crapshoot that it's currently in right now. I mean,
you just gotta try it.
They're putting in flyers, and I know what the performance would be if I had it. Like, I'd get 25 megabits per second, which is, that's broadband by FCC definitions, but I don't know. I think it would be nice if they would disclose, a minimum guarantee of speed is what I would like to see. Like, you can market your average of 300 megabits if you want, but I'd like to see a minimum bar set.
I mean, it would be nice, Dennis. This will kind of tie into the coverage map section. If you could just check your area and see what the average speeds are, you're almost better off using a site like Root Metrics, going on there, clicking on the hexagon where your house is, seeing what reported T-Mobile speeds are, and kind of using that to help inform your decision if this product could be good for you. So I think we should move on.
Yeah, moving on. Let's talk about what Verizon's doing, because Sneed's been having a great experience with Verizon's home internet solution.
So Verizon actually offers two home internet solutions. We have Verizon Home Internet over LTE and Verizon Home Internet over 5G. Where would you like to start, Dennis?
Let's start with LTE because that's going to be the one that's more widely available.
So LTE, it's going to be pretty much everywhere. Verizon has a pretty robust LTE network, and pricing is great, okay? If you're an existing Verizon customer, price is just $40 a month, okay? That's awesome. And then if you're not a customer, then it's $60 a month. So pretty much right in line with what T-Mobile is offering, I would say. Potentially even better. And then you're basically getting, it's HD streaming, it's unlimited data, and you get a little Wi-Fi gateway, pretty easy setup. It's got all the perks that you've got before, and they're actually waiving the router cost. It's usually $10 a month, and they are waiving that, I think, for new customers.
So if we're talking about the two, I would personally have more faith in Verizon's home internet solution.
That's interesting. What do you have more faith in? Like their ping times or reliability? What would make you lean towards Verizon over a T-Mobile solution?
The actual piece of equipment that they're providing, as we've talked about.
Oh, so it's the gateway, like the router.
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about this, but T-Mobile's gateway has major firmware flaws. They've inherently gimped it. Like, we talked about how the fact the default. I'm just going to give a quick example. The default Nokia gateway, before T-Mobile does what they do with the firmware, actually has a touch panel on the top. And you can actually see like where a cell tower is. So you can actually position the antennae so you're getting like the best possible signal. T-Mobile removed that and just put useless signal bars instead of like telling you like where like what cell site you're connecting to. That's kind of pertinent information when you're dealing with a product like this.
That's such a T-Mobile move.
Or there's the whole issue where if the power goes out, right, and it turns off, it loses all of its saved settings, right? Like that's a major bug. I don't want to be messing around setting up my router all over again. You know?
Yeah. We have someone actually pointed out something great. Albert Teasy, thank you for this. Verizon LTE is capped at 50 megabits per second, and he's absolutely correct. We go into the terms and conditions. LTE home internet, actually advertising speeds, Dennis, so expect typical download speeds of 25 megabits per second, max download speeds up to 50, typical upload 4 with no usage caps.
But I can respect that. At least when I buy that product, I can have a certain level of certainty of knowing what my experience is going to be. And, we talked about this, but despite what people think, 25 to 50 megabits per second is actually totally usable. Like if you're just chilling by yourself and you're just watching YouTube and Netflix, I mean, if you have 25 meg, you can watch 4K. As far as gaming goes, despite the myth, gaming doesn't use a lot of bandwidth. It's about latency and consistency of the connection.
Ping, yeah.
And then, I mean, the only downside is the upload speed, 4 megabits, right? Like, that's not fantastic. But for the places where this is being targeted, rural America, this is a godsend, right? Like, it's either that or DSL for a lot of people. And DSL can't even get close to offering these speeds. So,
Sure. Yeah, I will say it looks like video might actually be capped at 1080p. So that would be like, I don't know, maybe 6 megabits per second. What does that use, Dennis?
that's 8, roughly.
8 megabits per second. So it might be 1080. Do you think you could get around that with a VPN?
Maybe. Possibly.
You wouldn't need the latency because that would add a lot of latency to the connection potentially.
Yeah, but with video, it doesn't matter because you got that buffer. Like, it's not... With video, most websites are using UDP, not TCP. So the data comes in. There's a little buffer on your core device where it loads up in the RAM, typically like 30 seconds or whatever of buffer. And once it gets going, like, you're fine. Like, it's not going to matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess the other points are it's only available where there are no other Verizon options, which could include Fios. So Dennis, you can get this 5G home, etc.
That's fine. I don't.
It's for rural America. I mean, it's perfect for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, trust me when I say this. I much rather have Fios. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think for the price you're paying for this service, I think it's great. Again, $40 versus $60. In my market, I actually get pretty poor Verizon speeds in my apartment, so I would go with T-Mobile. They just installed N41 like right down the street from me. I'm more likely to get better speeds and performance on that than I am on Verizon. But that's just me. I think, Dennis, as you mentioned, for a majority of people, they're going to have a better experience on Verizon, on their LTE. And Austin, I want to thank you for the super chat, my friend. Really appreciate the support. You're totally right. Now that I have N41 at home, we need to see a video review of the service. T-Mobile home internet, it's going to happen. Probably July is what I'll say. And I will thank you for your super chat and apply that towards the service and equipment. Actually, there's no equipment, so it'll be just the service. But yeah, thank you for that.
I want to look at some of the comments real quick before we talk about the 5G flavor of this real fast.
Absolutely. What have you got, Dennis?
Well, first, there was a comment from Brian Hensley that I found interesting, and I don't actually know this for a fact, so I'd love to hear a follow-up to this, but he was saying that municipal fiber puts 300 to 500 customers on a 1 gigabit per second backhaul, and it doesn't matter what package you have. They estimate every household to use 20 to 25 megabits. Brian, if you could follow up with that, like a link to a source or just a little follow-up, I'd be really curious because I feel like with GPON, which is the common fiber deployment, it's typically at least 2.5 gigabits per second of download, 1.5 upload. And you typically split that off to like 32, 64, max like 128 homes. So I'd be very curious how they're pulling off the 300 to 500 customers per fiber strand, basically, per fiber run. But following up on that, I'm just looking at some different comments that are being mentioned. Sneeze talking about the reliability. He's also talking about how his T-Mobile internet buffered even with 150 megabit per second speeds.
Jeez. Sneed, I feel like it was a bad experience. Like, I'll give it his fair shot. Maybe it's absolute trash, and I think there's sides to both of the situation, but we'll have to see.
And then there was some comments talking about Spectrum being like a monopoly. I kind of lost it somewhere in the thing, but for the people that have Spectrum, sorry if it's not good in your area. I know my girlfriend has Spectrum out in Ohio, and it's whatever, it's a cable operator. You know how that goes. Like everything in life, it's hit or miss depending on where you live. Even with cable,
Sure,
properly maintained cable network's important. So I'm sorry if you guys have
absolutely
poor experiences with them.
I will say that Anthony's coming in here saying that the T-Mobile connection isn't steady. They're more likely to fluctuate more than AT&T's network, probably more than Verizon. And actually, Austin, you were messaging me saying that N41 seems to fall off after prolonged use, which means it doesn't latch on and stay connected for prolonged periods of time. I think that's really interesting, and that could definitely impact your service and experience on T-Mobile, even if you are in an N41 market. Like if you're trying to use home internet always on N41 and it's disconnecting, that could kind of hamper that experience.
And to your Ortiz, I saw him ask this question earlier on. He asked us which internet do we recommend to people. It's going to depend what's actually available to you at your house, because unfortunately in America, most of the time you probably only have one, maybe two, like real choices. Because I'm just going to say satellite's not a real choice. Like you don't pick satellite. So I would look to see who's available, if you're comfortable with it, you could throw in a zip code, and we can look up real quick, like who's available out there. But, if you have a fiber provider, generally speaking, as a general rule of thumb, fiber to the home providers tend to be better or the best option. I say general rule of thumb because I shocked people when I showed that my latency with Comcast was better than my Fios connection. That doesn't mean that Comcast is inherently better, right? Because I still prefer having symmetrical speeds, right? And the pricing is cheaper for symmetrical gig. But, that just shows how a properly maintained cable network can perform quite well. And a poorly maintained fiber network can perform worse than expected, or maybe the company doesn't have good peering agreements or what have you. But generally speaking, fiber to the home is best. Cable is literally I would say close second, if not parity, as far as bandwidth is concerned. The only weakness to cable typically is the upload speeds, right? DSL is the absolute worst option unless it's like a VDSL setup where the provider, like an AT&T, ran fiber really close to your pedestal and then just did the DSL connection from there, because then you can sometimes get 50 meg. And then you look at your wireless solutions. Yeah. Debo Bop's correct. It's fundamentally location dependent. Harsha posted a zip code. I'm gonna use that decision data website I told you about. Do you remember that?
Do it. Yeah.
ISPs in 75080. I'm looking for the website decision data because we found it to be relatively accurate. So, all right. So Harsha, I looked up your zip code real quick, my man. Looks like you got Spectrum cable and maybe AT&T fiber. And if those are your two options, hands down, far and away, AT&T fiber. They have one of the best, as far as performance goes, they're better than Fios when it comes to me and their performance. Fiber, AT&T fiber is delicious. And you should take that hands down. It is a no-brainer question if it's available to you. Otherwise, pick Spectrum. Don't pick I mean, those are your two main options out there as far as fixed solutions are concerned, and those are both great options. Don't pick anything wireless. Like, these are way better options than any wireless solution being offered out there. So I would either pick, if you have fiber from AT&T, pick fiber. If not, get Spectrum. Both are good options, and it looks like they offer great speeds in your area. It looks like they both offer up to gig, which is exciting for you. So definitely jam out, man. Okay, we'll check out Auntie and Ramsey's real quick since they're typing in some zip codes. Looks like you're from the East Coast, my man, since you start out with a 1. And maybe I should. Do you want me to share my screen, Stetson?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay. Oh no, I lost the zip code. Too many zip codes coming in. Okay.
Coming in hot.
Dang, this is an exciting topic. Share screen. Share screen. Screen 2. Share. So yeah, I just use Google. I look up what the ISPs are in the area, and then the website that I like to use when it's an option is a site called Decision Data. I find that their website tends to be more accurate. And wow, to the person that gave me this zip code 10460, you're a lucky dog. Your whole zip code is covered by Fios, my man. The same ISP that I'm using right now as we talk. 100%. This is a no-brainer. Get Fios. No-brainer. Because your other option is Optimum, which is the company that's doing that very poo-poo thing of reducing their upload speeds. Screw them. Don't support them if you have another option. They do not deserve any of your money unless they're running fiber to your home. In which case, then you're an even luckier dog because you have 2 fiber to the home options, but you should still pick Fios. Pick Fios all day, every day of the week. They're very affordable. I think it's $40 if you have your own router for 200 by 200, which they over provision to 300 by 300. So pick Fios. That is for darn sure. Did you highlight another zip code for me to look up?
They were all coming in hot.
Okay, I'll do the one that you just highlighted, which is the...
Oh, I think it was this one. 80801. 08081. That's got to be East Coast, right? That's where the zip codes start?
Yeah, because fun fact, if you didn't know this, zip codes start from 0 and work their way up to 9 as you go from east to west. Fun fact.
Yeah, because that's where we like literally had country or states first is the East Coast. So they're just like, all right, 0.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. So this is a more interesting zip code for sure. It looks like half your place has possibly got Verizon Fios, but most of it's DSL. I will say real talk, in no circumstance should you pick DSL if that's the Verizon offering. You'll have to punch in your street address on website. If they don't say Fios is available, do not get DSL under any circumstance. It's terrible. Garbage. You got Comcast, though, and they treated me well. They're a great option. These are both great options. It goes back to, if Fios is available, get Fios. Symmetrical speeds are great. If not, get Comcast. And I'll just also say one thing that's worth mentioning is that Comcast does oftentimes run cheaper prices. Like, if you can get a deal where it's $30 for 100 megabits per second, I mean, if you're trying to be frugal, dude, that's a good deal, and you might as well stay with Comcast. And I will also just say, we're focusing on internet, but one thing that's worth mentioning when I say this is if you do actually have 2 that like genuinely good options, there's other things to look about when they're so price similar. For example, Comcast throws in Peacock Premium for free, which, I mean, if you like NBC Universal content, that's great. I know Verizon Fios does Discovery, Discovery Plus is what they're doing now. Yeah, because that's what they gave me for a year. So, look at the perks, look at that. We talked about it on the show before too, but Comcast does sell Xfinity Mobile, something to bear in mind. It's a very affordable cell phone option if you're going to be a Comcast customer. You know what I mean? Because what was it, Stetson? $30 a line if you do 4 lines, right? That's 120.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, for unlimited. They got some good cell phone pricing. Basically, if you get into the ecosystem of bundling and stuff like that, then maybe you look at your cable operator like a Comcast, right? I mean, there's perks to them, but if we're just strictly speaking internet, Fios all day. if we're just talking internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely depends on your use case too. For me, I do YouTube. We're live streaming here. I think having fast internet is really beneficial for my line of work. I feel like if you're a student, then like once you hit over 25 megabits per second and you can stream 4K and you've got a pretty good ping, like if you really want to be frugal and save that money, like go for it.
And I'll just say, and like I said, in some circumstances, Comcast can be better than Fios, as seen by my house. Like if we're talking about ping times for gamers, I'm being dead serious. My ping times with Comcast is a good like 7 to 8 milliseconds lower on average than Fios. Now, I don't know if that has to do with peering agreements. Like that's my hypothesis. It probably has to do with peering agreements. You know, Comcast got some big pockets, you know what I mean? And a lot of their own infrastructure or what. But, you know, if you're a gamer, you know, you care about what you care about more than anything is latency. That's what you care about. So sometimes it's just a matter of testing. The one thing I will just say is that Comcast, as with all cable operators, they do those really crappy contract promo new customer deal things, and that's one thing I freaking hate about them. You know what I'm talking about, right? So that's where it's like 1 year price, long as they jack your rate up.
Yeah, I really dislike that. It's like if Verizon said, "Hey, we're offering our premium unlimited plan for $45 a month for your first year," and then after that, it's actually going to be like $140.
I mean, Verizon used to until they did the whole no more contracts thing, which I really appreciate. But one thing I will say that's nice about Comcast is that because they're using coaxial cable for most of their setups, it does give you, the consumer, more freedom and ease to install. Like, they're not going to find a house that doesn't have cable, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, when I had my Fios installed, they drilled through my freaking washing room, right? It was not a very pleasant experience. And I'm going to be honest, the tech was an absolute asshole that did my Fios install.
Yeah.
Like, he was. And the Comcast guy, super chill dude. And obviously it was a simple job, right? The coax was already there, so it was very like plug and play. Like they didn't have to do anything that damaged my house, basically. Which, as a new homeowner, I appreciated. These are little things that you don't think about. I mean, obviously, all you care about at the end of the day is the results. And I guess what I'm going for here is these are both great options. If you have either one of them, you're better than like the majority of Americans. Okay, that's basically what I'm going for here. But again, if you have an internet-only option, generally speaking, on average, fiber is the gold standard. Chime is telling me Broadband Now is a better website. I mean, I don't know. I've had good experiences with the Axie on this versus some other ones, because a lot of times they'll pull in other stuff that I know just isn't there. So, but I'll look at 2 more zip codes and I'm going to move on from this topic. So let's pick 2 more zip codes, Stetson. Do we want to do Cade's 79541? I don't think I did his yet.
Let's see. Yeah, try it. Wait, that was not it.
It was 79541 at 7:30. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Cade doesn't have a cable operator out his way, it looks like. Huh. A lot of companies I don't recognize. I'm guessing you're in a rural part of the U.S., my man, which, has its perks.
What, Broadband Now pulls up?
Sure, go ahead. Oh yeah.
This is what it's saying. Rise Broadband, Viasat, HughesNet.
So basically, it has DSL, satellite, and satellite.
Oof. I mean, should we do view plans and pricing?
Yeah.
What's the upload?
You're not gonna see that kind of. Oh, no.
Oh, 250 gigs a month?
No.
Oh.
So, Cade, you're in a circumstance where looking at a T-Mobile home-based internet or a Verizon home-based internet is a really good solution for you. That's what I have to say about you, my friend. You are like the ideal demographic for that type of product. Alternatively, it does look like you have like a cooperative. I mean, at least when I'm looking at decision data, which I trust a little bit more, again, because I just had a good experience using this site when trying to find ISPs and stuff for different zip codes when I was buying my houses and stuff, you know what I mean? And it looks like you have a couple cooperatives. I mean, it can't hurt to call. I mean, this looks like a Wisp. Which I think when we were talking with Austin, I think his buddy was doing like a Wisp company. We know what that's all about. But it looks like you got a cooperative here that's doing like DSL and running some fiber. So maybe talking to this like Taylor Telephone Cooperative. Sounds like it's like your local phone company. See what they can do. I mean, if you were able to get like a DSL connection that was like 20 megabits per second, I'm sure your upload would probably only be like 2. But I know with DSL companies, a lot of times you can run like 2 lines and bond them. So you can get like a total bandwidth of like 40 by, say, 5. It's something you can do with DSL. So maybe talk to Taylor Telephone. Could be an option. Possibly. If not...
I meant to type in 77541. I made a typo.
Oh. Well,
I don't know. I think it still stands.
Well, whoever lives out here, if you do... ISPs in 77541. All right, Kate, I'm giving you a redemption piece, and then I'm moving on to one more zip code, and then we're moving on topics, because I know that people are probably just not. Well, maybe they are vibing check. Maybe they are vibe checking this because they're really coming in hot. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Okay, Kate. So you got AT&T DSL, and I don't know if Comcast is available to you, but I'll just say this: if Comcast is available, hands down, you pick that. Period, point blank. I don't care if they have a data cap or not. You pick Comcast. It's just better than DSL, period. But if it's not, get AT&T DSL if they offer 25 megabits or better. And if they can't do that, then you would be looking at those wireless options like Verizon or T-Mobile on the internet. That would be the move. All right, we're going to do one more person. I'm going to do Jim because he's the one I saw first. Debo Bop. We can always do something in the Discord later for you, man. But I'm going to do Jim. Just remind me in the Discord, man. We can look together and I can type you a recommendation since you're a Patreon supporter. I got you, man. So ISPs... Google's going to be like wondering why I'm looking up all these ISP or
Dennis, you're going to get so many ISP ads. Like,
I
he's looking for internet. We've got them.
Well, if you remember last night, man, I was getting news ads about that one company expanding fiber all the way in Washington. But okay, so I don't know where the zip code's actually at, but you got Spectrum and you got CenturyLink DSL. When we were talking to our special guest, they had CenturyLink and they do a thing called like Price for Life, which I appreciate. It's super cool. But I'm sorry, CenturyLink DSL is not good. Period. Like, you're better off with no internet. So I would recommend Spectrum. And this just goes down to like DSL just being an inferior technology, period. So Spectrum is your really only option if you're talking about like good high speed broadband. And I just hope and pray that they actually have a maintained networking area. But I mean, if you want anything that's better than, because look, they might claim they can offer 100 meg. I doubt it. The fastest I've seen on a good DSL connection, I'm talking a good DSL connection is like 50 meg. That's the fastest I've seen like on like a good DSL connection, like reliably. So if you're looking for better than that consistently, I'd recommend Spectrum. That's my opinion on that front.
Dennis, I like that. I actually think we should sneak in Debo Bop.
You want to sneak him in? Okay,
yeah,
I'll do it real
I pulled
quick.
up. I mean, here's what I got on my end.
Okay.
I just added your stream again, but I was seeing Verizon, Optimum, and Xfinity. So like, Debo Pop, like,
well, there's
potentially
look at your percentage available. It's 4.8 and 2.
Oh, geez, 2.6. Looks like it's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Hold up, wait, he's from PA? Wait a minute. I'm from PA. I'm familiar with PA. Hold on a second. I want to look him up on
Now
Decision.
you got to look this up.
No, I am.
Is this Verizon? This can't be Fios.
That's DSL, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, I'm not using that site. I'm using Decision data.
See what you get, Dennis.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. They have Blue Ridge out there. They have Blue Ridge Cable. They have Blue Ridge. They're a local, they're like a smaller cable provider, and they have data caps. And he may have RCN, which I've heard mixed things about RCN, but you might actually have 2 cable operators out there, which is exciting, and then Verizon DSL. Or it might be Service Electric. It's one of these like 3 local guys. I know that they're out in Bethlehem. But basically, Whoever your cable operator is, pick any of them. Any cable operator. Stay away from Verizon DSL. Like if anybody learns anything, real friends don't let real friends have Verizon DSL because Verizon literally is getting sued actually because they're just letting their DSL like crumble apart. Like they're not repairing it where it's available, and they're just telling people like your sweet old grandma if the line doesn't work anymore to just get like a Verizon cell phone basically if it just stops working. So real friends do not let real friends get Verizon DSL. It is absolute garbage. You might get like 1 to 3 meg. I don't care what they market. I know what the performance is like. It's garbage. My aunt to this day cannot get her off of it. I hate going to her house. Anytime she wants me to fix her printer or something, I have to put my phone on hotspot. It is garbage. So yeah, get whatever the cable provider is. Blue Ridge, RCN, Service Electric, doesn't matter. Just get the cable provider. You'll thank me.
Awesome. A couple comments, and I think we should move on. We've got Brady. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. Love that icon next to your name. Let me check right now. Brady, are you on 3G yet? That's the big hype. I just got bumped up to 3G myself, and it was pretty exciting. Let's check. Yeah, Brady's on 3G. Congratulations. Love that.
Also, thank you. I did get a new setup. Yeah, I got the green screen behind me.
Yeah, Dennis, don't say green screen. Yeah, Dennis bought a new house, everybody. Look how decked out it is. I mean, look at that. He's got a window, mountain in the background, TV set up, a nice couch back there. Dennis, what plot twist? The green screen has just been a facade, and that actually is your background, and we took a picture of it and blurred it.
Yeah, that's the truth. Just like Stetson took a background picture of his desk.
This actually was my desk.
Yeah.
All right.
And I do have lights that I got as well and a new camera for the podcast.
Dennis really upped the ante for the podcast, so shout out to him, and thank you for your Patreon support and your YouTube support to help make that happen. Porky's saying, nice crib, Dennis. That's our cue to segue into a Verizon 5G. Okay, they also offer 5G. I got this extension, by the way, that can speed up or slow down video. Look how fast we can make this 5G home internet. It's really fast. All right, anyway. Fast and easy setup. I mean, it's pretty great, Dennis. With this, you don't have a tech coming in, drilling in your home. And let's see, streaming is great. All right, here we go. What are they saying? Ultra-fast Wi-Fi, up to gigabit speeds, typical speeds of 300 megabits per second. That's a substantial increase from 25.
Yeah. And ultra-low lag.
Do you think you could use Verizon 5G for gaming?
Mm-hmm. I think you could. If you have their ultra wideband, I think you could. I absolutely wholeheartedly think you could. Like ultra wideband is great. Like that right there, that's a real competitor to like a cable ISP. I'm not saying it's a competitor to fiber. Like I want to be clear. It's not a competitor to fiber. Symmetrical upload speeds is a thing. It's real. But to a cable operator, if you have that available, that's real competition. That is real competition right there. And that is a great product. I hope Verizon just pours all the money in there and actually expands out in the suburbs and stuff like that because that is a great option.
Yeah, so simple, without the stress. You get up to $500 credit to cover any early termination fees. Set up on your own time. No annual contracts. That's awesome. No data caps or extra fees. Super. And Lucas, thank you for the super chat. We're going to answer that in a bit. I just want to finish this segment. So they do a comparison here, but basically, yeah, you save $20 a month, no data caps. I think HD streaming. Let's see, what's the this is the new gateway.
Yeah, and if you look on the right, by the way, I have that stream box that I got with my Fios service.
You do?
Yeah, it's crap. It runs Android TV, but I told you about this. They don't have Netflix on it. You can't download Netflix on it.
What? How do you make a stream box without Netflix?
I don't know. It runs Android TV too, so that's the kicker.
Yeah. Anonymous is asking, is UW the same as millimeter wave? So yes, UW stands for ultra wideband, and that is just the branding that Verizon has given to their millimeter wave network. Dennis, do we have pricing on here? Oh, here we go. I was right above it. So, geez, Dennis is only $10 more than their LTE one. Okay.
Yeah.
$50 a month when you have a mobile plan. $70 a month without a mobile plan.
I want to say something real quick. At $70 a month, it's a great option, but it's not worth it. in my opinion, because for, say, I'm going to put it to you this way. For $35 a month, I'm using Comcast as the example here because like I said, this type of service is more competitive to a cable operator. So Comcast as an example real quick. For $35 a month, you can get 200 megabits per second, which with over provisioning, because you see them with my speed test, they generally over provision, roughly 250. And the difference between 250 and even if you were getting the 300 they're talking about, not really noticeable, right? So for 35 versus, it's literally double the cost, basically, is what I'm getting at here. And for something like gigabit, like if you want to get like full gig, like 1,000 meg, like guaranteed, or 1,200,
yeah,
it's like $80. For the extra $10, you can guarantee yourself gig, or heck, if you wanted to match it price for price, for $70 with Comcast, you can get 800 meg, which with their over provisioning is already like 940.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right, Dennis. It comes down to your living situation. If you want to save money and you're an existing Verizon customer, I think $50 a month is totally reasonable. And
Reasonable. Good.
It depends like what your other options are, right? Like if you're in my situation, I get symmetrical gigabit for $70 a month. That, like, I wouldn't trade that for anything. But if I'm in a situation where I'm paying $70 and like if you have millimeter wave available and you can get those really good speeds, I would consider switching. But yeah, if you can get anything less, it's not really worth it. So the kind of mantra of the stream is like, it depends. You gotta check what's available in your market. Hopefully Verizon expands this to more locations, more people can sign up. And I think we've heard from Sneed in his testing, like the box hardware is really good.
Also, real quick, I just want to, real quick, the PA Tech. PA Tech, go on Xfinity.com, do incognito mode, pumping your address. They have a deal, 1-year contract, 2-year price lock. It's $35 a month for 200 meg internet, the same speed you have. Do the dance with retention or just cancel and just re-sign up like the next day and get the new customer promo.
Wow, Brady is paying $40 a month for 100 by 100 fiber through Ziply Fiber.
That's a fantastic price.
That's amazing. Like $40 a month is outstanding for that. We're paying way more here.
But
Shame is coming in hot with millimeter wave is better upload than cable too.
I disagree with that statement
because it's anchored by 4G.
Yeah, it's using LTE, so it's gonna vary. I like I said, I feel like this product is solely in line with performance from a cable provider. That's why I said it's like that's their main competitor, because this clearly doesn't compete with like a fiber option under any circumstance.
So Dennis, so far we've covered T-Mobile, Verizon LTE, and Verizon 5G. Where do you think these stand right now?
Verizon 5G is clearly the best, but I would.
Do you need to be in an ultra wideband market, or do you think this would work in just like a regular 5G or regular area?
No, you have to be in an ultra wideband market in no circumstance, because we already saw 5G, like their other 5G is not great. Maybe when C-band rolls around, if they make a revision, it'd be a good option. But for right now, you definitely want to be in a 5G ultra wideband market. If not, follow that up by Verizon's LTE product, and I would say T-Mobile's dead last, unless you live in an area like Stetson where you have N41.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I would bump T-Mobile up just from my market, but I haven't tested them yet, so I'll kind of hold off.
Well, there's other problems of the actual gateway that they provide. That's the issue.
Yeah, the hardware is the issue. Like, if they had better hardware, I think the experience could be a lot better. I would do Verizon Ultra Wideband if you have it, T-Mobile if you have it, Verizon LTE if you've got no other options, and kind of depends on price. I mean, we have an anonymous phone coming in saying they're paying $120 to Comcast for gig speeds of 940 and 35. That came out kind of fast. 940 megabits per second by 35. And
sounds like he's not in a promo.
Yeah, I mean, if you can reduce that to 50 or 70 with Verizon Home Internet over 5G, I would still seriously consider it.
Or use it as a tactic to call their retention department and try to get a new promo.
I like that as well. You got to put those battle face on. You got to go in, and you got to hit retention up. And lastly, we've got AT&T. Do you guys know that AT&T actually offers a fixed wireless solution?
Is
this
do.
Something people were aware of? Check this out. This is gonna blow your mind. It's right here on this site in the smallest font available. Dennis is gonna peace out. He'll be back. What we've got going on here is, I'm gonna zoom in for you. Actually, I'm gonna zoom out. I'm going to zoom in the page, and then I can zoom in. Now you can read it. AT&T wireless internet. If you buy an AT&T wireless internet device, you can choose a 50 or 100 gig plan. So just to recap, T-Mobile and Verizon are offering truly unlimited data with their plans. AT&T, only 50 or 100 gigs, severely limited. You're thinking, all right, what's the price? What's AT&T got for the price? And if we come down here, you can see wireless internet, AWI device. You have to use AT&T's device. That's typical. They offer talk only, so that's kind of interesting. AT&T, the only one offering talk right now for $20 a month. 50 gigs is $60 a month, so right in line with Verizon and T-Mobile for the entry price. And 100 gigs is $100 per month. So, yeah, honestly, I think these plans are terrible. And overages, $25 per 10 gigs. It's expensive. It's not giving you a whole lot of data. Dennis, do you think anyone could realistically, who is this plan for?
People that literally have no options and need to be connected for school.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like light web browsing is how you keep it under 100 gigs. You can't really stream too many movies or TV shows.
You know what would be a better option if you want AT&T? Los Mobile.
Los Mobile. Oh, dude, that's clutch.
Los Mobile, dude. Get yourself a little Nighthawk. Shout out to Carlos, and he'll hook you up just fine. Get yourself an actual unlimited plan.
I think you have to buy the internet device as well. Let's open this as a new tab. Yeah, so it's $5.56 per month. What's the full price?
Or is it just a rental that you have to rent?
Yeah, does it never expire?
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that's kind of the common thing with a lot of ISPs.
Jeez. Oh, the Netgear Nighthawk 5G. That's $500.
They got one that's free.
But these are similar devices. These are not designed you have to get this one. And you're adding on. I mean, this just goes from bad to worse. That's all I can say for AT&T. So yeah, those are the internet options. Again, I think Verizon's on top. T-Mobile's a second place, and then AT&T is in dead last. Dennis, do you think AT&T will ever offer a fixed wireless solution?
I mean, the whole thing that's going on with Los Mobile gives me hope. You know what I mean? They're testing the waters, and I think inevitably, I mean, as they continue to add more capacity from the C-band that they deployed, why would AT&T forgo another revenue stream? You know what I mean? Because it's not realistic for them to build out UVerse ever, right? But they have a fantastic network, as we've seen. If they can pick up even an extra 250,000 customers and make an extra $50 a month of revenue, why wouldn't they? And think about it too. Statistically speaking, if you got someone for your home internet and your wireless, they're going to be a much stickier customer. You know what I mean? They're going to be less likely to switch their cell phone service because then they lose their discount on their home internet, for example. You know what I mean? Or vice versa.
That's a really good point. And I think you're right. I'd like to see something that AT&T offers. What do you think they need to do in terms of price point and features?
I mean, when it comes to home internet, I don't really think you need to be very feature. I mean, we see it with Fios where they tack on Discovery Plus and the free gift card and all that other stuff. And those are cherries on tops, but it wouldn't have changed my want or not want of getting Fios, right? In the same way where Comcast offers a free streaming service, Peacock, right? And all that stuff, it didn't really change my reason for picking Comcast. The reason I picked Comcast was because they were the only option, right? It's not a competitive space. So all AT&T really has to do if they want to dominate the market is these three things: be affordable, be available, and be reliable. That's it. You do these three things, you got customers, period. And if you really want to shock the world, number 4, have good customer service. But I don't hold my breath on that one.
Yeah, that one's not well known in the telecom space, that's for sure. Also, Jonathan Hernandez coming in clutch. It's rent to own and it's $200. So that was that's $6. So that would be $60, $72, maybe 36 months, something like that.
Real quick though, that is a good segue. I want to talk about my great customer service experience if you're down for it.
Go for it, Dennis.
All right, so guys, I have to talk about this. So, as you guys know, got a new home. Got a security system installed today through a company called Vivint. Hands down, one of the best experiences from start to finish that I've ever had working with a company. Period. Literally, from the guy that I talked to that was like the salesperson to the installer, his name was Josh. Fantastic human being. The guy literally left not only installing things in such a clean manner as if it was his own house, but made me feel better about myself during our conversation. Absolute freaking legend of a guy. He is the gold star that every company should hope for when they hire a customer service rep. And yes, I'm really talking it up because it is a great experience, and I want to use my ability on this platform to just, I had to talk about it. It's just great. And as far as the product's concerned, I've been enjoying it. They're kind of, I call them like the Apple of home security. They got a whole proprietary solution, but their gear is pretty legit. I got a doorbell and an outdoor camera, which is nice to keep an eye on the property. A couple sensors here and there. Nothing too crazy. I won't lie. It's not like their equipment's not cheap. I think my equipment to finance is like $3,000 almost. But once the equipment's paid off, like the base cost of the service is only like $35. Main reason I got them is because they were one of the few security system options that offered both localized and cloud-based storage, redundant storage, and they did true 24/7 recording with up to 30 days. A lot of them do like 7-day history and only when like an action event happens, whereas this is like actual 24/7. But I just want to talk about this product and see if anybody else has any security options. Like Comcast offers security. I know, obviously their ADT exists, but I figured I'd open up the floor for anybody to talk about that. And while you're doing that as well, if anybody does want to look into Vivint and you're from the general Pittsburgh-ish area, I'm just going to throw a link to the dude's number. His name, like I said, is Josh in the chat because the dude does make commission. He told me that pretty upfront, which I respected his honesty about. And if he can make a quick buck off of someone that was interested in the product anyway, I would love to see it go to him because he was an absolute legend. And, he wasn't probably expecting this, but I want to be that person in the world that shows that, like, when you're actually good about someone and actually do a good job with something, like, you deserve to be rewarded however possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just going to post his number in the chat. It's his work number, so, be nice if you're actually interested. If not, just ignore. But his name's Josh, and I'll also just say if you want to say Dennis referred you, I'll be honest, I do get a credit on my bill, which is super cool. So if you guys are interested in actually getting a home security product, that's one that I just got set up and I'm using. Feel free to reach out to him. He was a really cool guy. So there you go. And they're a company based out of Utah, but like I said, they're really cool. One other thing that I thought was interesting is their security system actually works with AT&T and Verizon cell towers. And you can actually run speed tests and see like what band you're connecting to. Obviously, in my market, mine connected to AT&T band 2. So that's a thing.
There you go. That's amazing. Yeah, it sounds like a really good system, really good setup. So you got a doorbell and one security camera? Is that?
Yeah, I got one video doorbell, one outdoor video security camera for now, and then I got a window brake sensor, a couple motion door sensors, and then something for like the garage. And that's what I got for now, and then I'll add on to it when I get more money in my life. Maybe I'll get like a Google Nest thermostat to pair with it and other fancy stuff. But for now, just something simple, just to be able to actually keep an eye on the house, if an Amazon package comes, that kind of thing. Oh, Kay was saying his grandma's had ADT, and I found a weak point in their system. Literally, if you were to cut the cord behind the panel of the system, then the entire system would be killed, and the cord is very obvious. Well,
yikes.
That is unfortunate. I picked. I thought about that. I picked the Vivint system because they were one of the few options that use two cell. Well, they were one of the only options that I was aware of that use two cell phone providers for their connectivity. Usually, carriers only use one. Oh, also, fun fact, Stetson. I told you about this behind the scenes, but did you know a lot of home security systems rely on 3G for their cell phone?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that until you told me, but that's crazy to me.
So
what are they using 3G for?
Well, that's for when the alarm goes off, so they could call like 911 and stuff.
Got it.
So I'm gonna be curious to see what happens when the whole 3G shutdown happens. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But anyway, Vivint doesn't have that issue because they have a backup battery inside. I mean, obviously, if you cut the power, like it would only last for a little bit, but there is a backup battery inside the panel, and it's not relying on my home internet like a lot of security systems do. It's relying on the cell phone tower, which, I mean, I guess cell phone towers can go out, but it's a lot less likely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Dennis, you want to move on to some Patreon questions?
yeah, let's do that. I just wanted to shout him out though. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, when someone does a great job, it's nice to give them recognition and kind of the credit they deserve. We had some great questions from Patreon. Hector's asking thoughts on T-Mobile's hashtag 5G Gin. What else could they have done to be uncarrier / celebrate their 5G? Thoughts on the gin? I mean, it's funny. It's a play on words. Obviously, many people enjoy a drink responsibly, so I think it's a pretty good move. But what else could they have done to be uncarrier and to celebrate their 5G? So what was the milestone, right? What T-Mobile was celebrating is they actually covered 300 million people with their extended range 5G, and they covered 150 million people with their ultra capacity 5G. So they are 6 months ahead of their network build out schedule. Thought it was a good time to get some press to tout that they're in the lead, because we know come this fall in early 2022, Verizon and AT&T are going to be rolling out that C-band, and competition's going to heat up. So T-Mobile's celebrating now. I mean, I guess I think it's funny. It's amusing. Obviously got some head turns and some press. Some people may not like it. I would have liked to see them, I don't know, do some shirts. I feel like just giving away phones, give away a 5G phone would have been nice too, but I don't know. It's hard to get as many people excited about that. Dennis, what are your thoughts? Like, was there something they could have done differently to celebrate or to be uncarrier?
Maybe I don't know, do something cool on T-Mobile Tuesday for the customers, like free year service for.
Yeah, maybe if you upgrade to a 5G phone, you get like a free month of service or something like that. Or like
that was cool. I was thinking like a raffle, like I don't know, 100,000 people, free year service type of deal, something like that, and you spin the win type of deal. And then also to commemorate it, maybe have like a really cool beanie or piece of merch.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, something like that. Maybe I don't know. I mean, the alcohol thing's cool. I know you were able to order a thing.
Yeah, so I got some ginger beer. It's non-alcoholic, and it was what was available. So might do a taste testing.
Yeah, it'll be. I think we agreed, right? Patreon exclusive little.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be Patreon exclusive.
Yeah. So that's in the works.
We had a Patreon question from Lucas. Who is the best true 5G? This is kind of on the topic of 5G. I would say right now, T-Mobile has the best true 5G because they have a 5G standalone core, and I think that their N41 is pretty good if you're in a market that gets it.
Wait, you think T-Mobile, you said?
Yeah, I'm going T-Mobile. I would do rank order T-Mobile, then Verizon, then AT&T, and we just have to wait and see. Like right now, I'm giving it to T-Mobile.
I mean, the question's hard. I mean, it's not talking about availability, right? Like, technically speaking, Verizon has the truest sense of 5G with their millimeter wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I just think, like,
if we're talking
impacted, yeah,
if we're talking, like, overall impact, I guess T-Mobile for now, like, very short for now, and this is totally ignoring, like, the incredible LTE network that AT&T has type of deal. But if we're talking 5G for now, T-Mobile.
Yeah.
For now.
For now, Lucas, T-Mobile, keep your eyes. I think Verizon will probably leap ahead, and I don't know what AT&T is doing. That's my honest take.
Well, AT&T got some C-band in that Spectrum auction.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I feel like their 5G rollout has been slower, and I don't know, just not as good in my opinion. I mean, they haven't had a whole lot to roll out, so I can understand that.
The places that they have millimeter wave, it's been incredible. People are getting like gig, 2 gig.
Yeah, I don't have that, man. It's hard to find it on their coverage map.
Check out Snee's channel. He did a test of it just recently.
I'll check it out. I just think, T-Mobile's my pick. Also, Cameron, thank you for being a Patreon supporter. How do you get the icon? So unfortunately, I tried my very best. It's only available on YouTube. And so if you want to join the YouTube channel, you can do it for $1. I made it as low cost as possible. And you could either switch from Patreon to YouTube if you want to do that. Same perks, same benefits. I made the plans exactly the same. But yeah, you have to join the YouTube channel. That was the only way that I could offer that.
Yeah. Basically, if you're a Patreon member, just do the $1 tier. That's what me and Stetson did.
Yeah. I'm a
and then you have
myself.
your normal, like, I think it's what, $4 on Patreon and then $1 on.
So it's $4. Yeah, $4 on Patreon and then $5 on YouTube, and that covers the difference of the icon cost.
Right.
Basically.
So basically, if you have Patreon, it's $4 and you do the $1 tier on YouTube, you're $5 total with us, which is the same that YouTube is paying. And the reason why the YouTube tier is $5 or $1 more than Patreon has to do with how basically YouTube takes a bigger cut and other things that go behind it.
It just worked out. I mean, because I couldn't offer the icon obviously to Patreon members because as much as I wanted to, I couldn't find the option to do it. I don't think YouTube allows it. And this way, it's as low cost as possible. It's open to as many people as possible. And if you choose to do it, I really appreciate it. I love the icons myself. I think they're great. So that's fun.
The emotes are cool too in the chat, which eventually we have back talks about what we're going to be doing next on that front. But we are diligently working on all kinds of cool ideas, including stuff for the holidays, way into the distant future we have thoughts on. So lots of good stuff ahead and a huge catalog of bloopers and other content as well to be enjoyed. So we're working on stuff, that is for sure.
That is for sure. So we actually have an upcoming video that's premiering in 4 minutes. It's going to be live at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's our exclusive interview that we did with a great friend from Light Reading, Mike Dano. So that's actually going live. We can watch it together. So stay tuned for that. And then we also had another Patreon message from David asking about pulling up the open signal coverage map. I'm not sure how well that's going to translate in this video, so maybe it's worth doing a dedicated video on the channel on it. But they did apparently upgrade to 5G, so I'm going to let's just do AT&T, and they do have 5G, so I'll only check that. I'll apply it. And yeah, this is the new open signal coverage map, and you can that's blown out. It might not even focus. You can kind of see the different 5G areas if you were to get the map and zoom out. So let me full screen myself, take a peek. Yeah, maybe I'll do a, update on 5G video or something. I think that would be pretty fun. All right. Dennis, I feel like we should get out of here because the premiere's going to start soon, and I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, we should definitely call it. The premiere is definitely worth watching, guys. Like I said, top 10% episode for sure. So I hope to see you guys all go directly to watching that. I think you're going to really enjoy it. During the premiere, we talk a lot more about the T-Mobile news, including the 5G beer. We talk about some recent articles that Mike Dino posted in regards to the milestone itself, the advertising, and a lot of other good stuff in the show. So,
and why T-Mobile's coverage map is still terrible. And yeah.
So yeah, but before the show wraps up, I want to thank everyone again, as always. Thank you for your generosity and support for making this podcast happen and allowing Stetson and I to do the cool things that we do. Thank you for everybody that super chatted tonight. Thank you to all new members of the Patreon. And if you're not a member already, you should definitely become one. There's a ton of cool stuff like the emotes that you're seeing in the chat, awesome bloopers that are being made, and so much more that is being worked on. So if you're not already, become a Patreon member at the patreon.com/StetsonDoggett, or use the join button on the YouTube link. But guys, I will see you during the premiere, and you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful weekend.
Oh my gosh, 60 seconds. Thank you, Dennis. Bye, everyone.
Peace.